Today, a colleague of mine said about a crime novel she's reading that it's not well written, but it's really gripping. And it got me thinking, what does well written mean anyway? Because surely the point of a crime novel is that it's gripping. So by achieving that, this has become a well written crime novel. I own one of those 1001 books to read before you die collections, and I feel a lot of satisfaction ticking off the ones I've read. And I often feel a sense of accomplishment when I read an ordained classic that I don't get when I read another book. I know that among those 1001 books, there are books that I do not like. I don't enjoy reading Dickens. I think he's a bit too cumbersome and he's too descriptive and there's not enough conversation. It's just the sort of books that I like are not the sort of books that he writes. I know that I've read Wide Sargasso Sea, I could tick that off, but I didn't enjoy it, and yet it's considered a well-written book. At first glance, the first couple of Harry Potter books aren't particularly well-written, but it's become this classic for a reason, because the characters are so well-formed, and so well-rounded, and so lovable, that you connect with them immediately, and you're in a world. It's the world that was created, not necessarily the way that it was written. Without wanting to sound like I'm bigging myself up at all, I have been told I write well. This means that I can write an email well, I can write a letter well. When I'm told what to write, I can put language together in such a way that it comes out okay. But that doesn't mean I could ever write a novel. The fact that my blog has completely failed this year shows that I'm not really a writer. I'm someone who can write decently. What I think a good writer is someone who, yes, sometimes may produce amazing little quotable passages. Like you can see here, I've talked about it before, one of my favourite quotes is John Green, "My thoughts are stars, I cannot fathom into constellations." Little things like that come out when you're reading a book and you think, wow. And those of you who know me know I take photos of books on my phone, sometimes I have a little quote book. I'm a little bit weird with quotes. I love a good quote. But there are also authors I love that aren't particularly quotable. Armistead Maupin, who again I've spoken about in videos before a lot, isn't particularly quotable. I don't have any quotes of his that I love. But what makes him a great author in my mind is that he creates these characters in this world that I want to be a part of, that I want to keep being involved in, that I was sad to say goodbye to. So for me, what makes a great author is the sort of author who's writing a book that you don't want to stop reading. And yeah, you can feel that way about books that are considered lesser kind of genres like chick lit. But you know what? Bridget Jones's Diary appears on all these lists of books you should read. And I hardly think that's anything, of a higher level of literature, if we're going to be snobby about it. A great author is just someone who captures you and draws you into a world, who makes you connect with characters, who makes you understand things that maybe you never understood before, or see things in a way that you hadn't thought about, who put the thoughts that you're feeling into perfect little sentences, and who make you want to read more. And so I think if a crime novelist has made a book gripping, they're doing alright. That's it from me, guys. Have a good week. Bye.